Hello, this is Algebra D, page 1, notes over questions 1 through 4. So questions 1 and 2 deal with the Pythagorean theorem. I went ahead and drew a visual for question 1 that wasn't provided. I just like to see what the triangle is looking like. So the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. C is going to be the longest side, which is the hypotenuse here. It's across from the right angle. So we're going to replace, it doesn't matter whether you put 12 in for A or B. I'm going to just put it as A. So we're going to put 12 squared plus B squared, which is what we don't know, equals 20 squared. 12 times 12 is 144 plus B squared, which we don't know yet. 20 times 20 is 400. In order to solve for b, we have to get rid of 144, so I'm going to subtract it. That's doing the opposite. b squared equals 256. We don't want to know what b squared it is, so to get rid of b squared, we're going to have to take the square root. Square root of b squared is b. Square root of 256 is 16. Now, technically, when you take the square root of 256, you'll get the answers plus or minus, or sorry, a positive 16 or a negative 16, but we're going to ignore the negative answer because we're talking about a measurement. So it's going to be 16 inches as your answer. Here we're going to set it up the same way. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. This time we're still looking for a leg of the triangle. And this time it's labeled as x, so I'm going to go ahead and switch out a for x. B, it can be my 5. And then c is 13. We don't know what x is yet. 5 times 5 is 25. 13 times 13 is 169. To solve for x, you have to get rid of the 25, so you do the opposite. You're going to subtract 25. 169 minus 25 is 144. Take the square root. Again, we're going to ignore the negative answer because it's a distance. The square root of 144 is then 12. This did not actually list any units of measurement, so we're just going to put 12 units. All right, question 3 is asking us to simplify the product. If you're multiplying with square roots, you can just combine everything underneath one square root. And I'm going to go ahead and expand everything out. 28 can be broken down as factors 4 and 7, and then 2 and 2. So I'm going to write it as 2 times 2 times 7 times, I'm going to break y to the third down into its 3 different parts. Now, in order to pull anything out of the square root, we need we need pairs. So like here we see 2 7s, so I'm able to pull a 7 out. I see 2 2s, so I'm able to pull a 2 out. I see 2 y's here, so we can pull a y out. And I see another set of y's, so we can pull another y out. That will leave us with the answer 7 times 2 is 14. Y times y is y squared. If this had a 3 next to it, if it was the cubed root, then you'd need 3 of something. If it was the 4th root, you need 4 of something. So it just depends on what kind of root it is, how many copies of something you need in order to pull it out. Here we're going to do the same thing. Break down 10 will become 5 and 2. So put everything underneath the same radical. 5 times x times 5 times 2 times x times x times x. Again, this is the square root, so we need pairs. We see here that there are 2 5s, so I'm going to pull a 5 out. There is this x can go with this x, so pull the x out. And then here's another set of x's. You can pull out another x. And then 2 doesn't have a pair, so it's going to be stuck by its lonesome, still inside the radical. So to simplify this, we have 5x squared, square root of 2. That's it for the first set of the video notes. Check out Algebra D, page 2 for further help.